Africa, the cradle of life, and also the harshest arena of survival on the planet. Here, evolutionary pressure forces animals to choose, either become gigantic or become extremely cunning. Deep beneath the gigantic termite mound built by Macrotermes termites, one of the most complex social structures in the mammalian world is awakening. An adult is only about 40 centimeters long and weighs a mere 1.5 to 2 kilograms. In an ecosystem filled with predators that move at speeds of 100 kilometers per hour, such as leopards, or possess jaws that clamp shut like steel pincers like hyenas, the banded mongoose might seem like nothing more than fast food on the savannah. But they possess an extraordinary evolutionary defense system, a social structure of groups numbering up to 40 individuals. Unlike their neighboring meerkats, where only the dominant female has the right to reproduce, the society of banded mongooses is a strange democracy. Every female in the group has the right to mate. They have evolved an astonishing ability, synchronized birthing. All pregnant females give birth on exactly the same night. This mixes all the young together into one communal nursery, making it impossible for any individual to recognize which offspring are its own. The result? Internal killing is completely eliminated, and every member devotes itself wholeheartedly to protecting the next generation. Every morning begins with a chemical ritual. Beneath their tails are specialized scent glands. By rubbing against one another, they create a shared scent passport for the entire group. Any outsider carrying an unfamiliar scent that enters will immediately be detected and eliminated. The ritual is complete. The tiny army begins its sortie. Their naturally long and curved front claws were not born for combat, but are perfect digging tools. A 15-hour search day officially begins. The banded mongoose's digestive system is an excellent biological waste processing machine. They eat everything, from venomous centipedes and scorpions to small snakes. To break open the hard shells of millipedes or bird eggs, they have mastered the skill of using stones as anvils, a primitive form of tool use rarely seen among small carnivores. But their favorite source of protein comes from an ecological phenomenon known as cleaning mutualism, and their partner is the African warthog. An adult warthog carries a pair of razor-sharp tusks capable of inflicting fatal wounds on any enemy, even a lion. The African savannah is a paradise for wildlife, but it is also a breeding ground for thousands of types of parasites. Across these vast grasslands, not every enemy roars or possesses enormous fangs and claws. There are invisible killers patiently hiding right beneath their feet. Unlike predators that must expend energy chasing their prey, ticks use a cold biological strategy called passive ambush. They climb to the tips of withered blades of grass, extend their spiny legs into the air like hooks, and completely freeze. They do not need to eat, do not need to drink, clinging there for weeks at a time, just to wait for a single moment, a warm body passing by. The moment a warthog accidentally brushes its rough skin against a blade of grass, the trap snaps shut. The tick instantly latches onto its host, drives its barbed mouthparts deep into the flesh, and releases a biological anesthetic to silently drain its life force. The ticks clinging to the warthog's skin do not merely suck blood. They are intermediate hosts transmitting African swine fever virus and countless tick-borne diseases capable of collapsing entire populations of hoofed animals. Warthogs cannot clean the hard-to-reach areas on their backs or around their ears by themselves, and the banded mongooses appear as disease control specialists. They rummage through every hair follicle, pulling out hundreds of ticks at the root. The banded mongoose's highly acidic stomach easily neutralizes all infectious pathogens. This is a perfect mutually beneficial cooperation. The warthog gets rid of parasites and the risk of blood infections, while the banded mongoose gets a plentiful protein feast without having to spend energy hunting. In ecology, these interactions are precisely the invisible anchors that keep the web of life from collapsing. But on the savannah, no meal is ever completely safe. Gathering in large numbers in open spaces is attracting the attention of an enemy. At an altitude of 1,000 meters, air pressure drops sharply. But this is the domain of the Lord of the Sky, the martial eagle, Polemmatus bellicosus. It is the largest bird of prey in Africa, with a span stretching up to 2.6 meters and weighing up to 6 kilograms. It is a hunting machine perfectly designed by evolution. The martial eagle's eyes contain a density of cone cells 5 times higher than that of humans, allowing it to precisely locate a mouse running among tall grass from a distance of 5 kilometers. The target is locked. The banded mongoose group is too far from the safety of the den. The martial eagle folds its wings, eliminating air resistance, transitioning from gliding into a phase of free-fall dive. Its diving speed exceeds 200 kilometers per hour. Its most terrifying weapon is about to be unleashed. Razor-sharp talons, capable of squeezing with pressures of up to hundreds of pounds per square inch, enough to break all resistance and determine the fate of a small antelope with a single deadly squeeze. The warning signal rings out. Less than 2 seconds to react. One pup has been left behind. Yet instead of fleeing, the banded mongoose group activates its highest level defensive strategy, mobbing behavior. Biologically, this is the confusion effect strategy. The eagle's brain is programmed to lock onto a single target that is fleeing. But now, its visual system is overwhelmed by dozens of striped shadows, snarling, baring their teeth, and charging from every direction. The aerial hunting machine is completely short-circuited. But now, its visual system is overwhelmed by dozens of striped shadows snarling, baring their teeth, and charging from every direction. The aerial hunting machine is completely short-circuited. But now, its visual system is overwhelmed by dozens of striped shadows, snarling, baring their teeth, and charging from every direction. The aerial hunting machine is completely short-circuited. The battle lasted only a few seconds, but it is a brilliant testament to millions of years of evolution. In the natural world, we often worship the absolute strength of solitary predators such as tigers, leopards, or eagles. But biological history proves that social intelligence and group structure are the greatest launchpad for survival. Banded mongooses do not have deadly venom. They do not have massive muscles or lightning speed. Their strength lies in sacrificing individual ego for the survival interests of the collective. They are diligent cleaners, doctors preventing disease for an entire ecosystem, and warriors willing to charge into the face of death to protect their own kind. When darkness blankets the savannah, countless eyes of predatory creatures begin to appear.
The battle for survival will continue again tomorrow morning, harsh and merciless. But as long as that strong bond remains unbroken, the tiny guardians of the savannah will forever maintain their position.
Because in Africa, the greatest strength is sometimes hidden within the smallest bodies. The laws of nature do not favor the strong. They only smile upon those who know how to survive.